As we head towards the final interview this morning on News and Views, and our focus now is going to be in the area of Fordsburg here in Johannesburg. And we have learned about Fordsburg residents being without water for more than 8 weeks. Now, do we really realize or do we appreciate what 8 weeks really means? 2 months without water. And to unpack what the issue is and how this is impacting on the residents of Fordsburg, we are joined by one of the residents, Sister Yasmin Garda. Yasmin, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah for having me here today.
8 weeks without water, Yasmin. I mean, this is it's unbelievable.
Truly, it really is. It's actually going into the 9th week this week. So, yeah.
Well, how did this problem come about, Yasmin? Take us back to 8 weeks ago.
So 8 weeks ago, we've been receiving notices from the Vereniging and Eiken Water Purification Systems to say there have been power failures. And since those power failures, it has been an interrupted water supply to these areas of Ward 58. So it's just been on and off, and most days there's no water at all. And some days it will be switched on in the morning until 10:30 and switched off again during the day, right up until the evening, till about 6 p.m.
Well, clearly this is frustrating, and I'm sure that the residents in Ward 58 are extremely, extremely frustrated at what is actually happening around them. Just tell us, give us, I mean, the sentiments that the community is experiencing. What are they saying?
So basically, everybody is in the same position. They are frustrated. They do not know what to do. There has been no water tankers that have been in the areas. People are resorting to using the fire hoses. It's just been really difficult, and I think people are really getting angry at this stage. There's been no other water outlet. So for those people who do not have access to borehole water or water tanker systems, it's been really, really difficult for them. It's just a general feeling of real anger and frustration. And of course, it's like our basic human rights are being denied to sanitation, access to water. So it's not an easy situation at all.
Well, it certainly is not an easy situation, Sister Yasmin, but also in
Mhm.
terms of, I'm sure there must have been many engagements, there must have been many levels of engagement with the powers that be, with those that are responsible and tasked with the provision of water to the residents of Fordsburg, and I'm sure many meetings must have taken place. What has come out of those engagements?
So in fact, actually, the first meeting was held on the 6th of March for the ward. And what was the outcome is that the mayor said that he would take 120 days to visit each station in the ward and see for a resolution that could be helped to resolve our water problem. However, they did say that they would be putting generators at the Crosby and Hurst Hill water pumping stations. And so far, that seems to have been the general idea of resolution. That was just on the 6th of March. So if you look at it from January right till the 6th of March, only then was the first meeting held. So that's what we have so far. But 120 days is still a long time.
Well, generators are definitely not an answer. And,
Mhm.
you mentioned the mayor, and we know that there is a new mayor in the city of Johannesburg. But
Mhm.
this is a
Yeah.
matter of priority. And, saying that,
Mhm.
generators are going to be an answer. The question is when.
That's exactly it. So that is where our frustration lies. So they've asked for 120 days to find a resolution and no actual date for the generators to be installed. Apparently, there were generators in the Crosby area, but it seems to not be there anymore. So now
And
it's
just
just a matter of waiting.
and in the interim, how are the residents coping, Yasmin?
So, like I said, they've been using the fire hoses, which is really not on. It's actually water that is unclean. It's not really very pure. And some residents do have access to borehole water, like in Newtown, there was a tap that allowed the residents to go get water to collect water from. Um, the other residents, as for them, they've been relying on family support, friend support, people of other areas. I live in an apartment building, so I'm close by to the plaza where I get my borehole water from. I'm just fortunate in that way that I do have access to that type of water facility. But the others, I think it's really difficult because they have to rely on other areas, people in other areas.
Mm.
So that's mainly where we get our water sources from, relying on
Yes.
friends or borehole. Yes.
Yeah, just at Fordsburg area now, I know I'm familiar with the Fordsburg area. Just Ward
Okay.
58. What does it comprise? I know you mentioned the plaza, you mentioned the Newtown area. Which other areas around there are affected?
Okay, so far I think it's only the Fordsburg area. Mayfair, which is quite close, has not been greatly affected as us, but it's just basically this one block that's really troublesome. If you go further down the road, I think they do have a better water supply. For us, it's low pressure to no water at all because we're in a higher lying area. So it's just basically this one area that's problematic that I know of.
Mm. What other options have you got, Yasmin, at this point in time as a resident?
As a resident, we have the JoJo tank, but due to the water being so low, the pressure being so low, it's just not even enough for our JoJos to fill up. So there's something that we have to do as a community, and I'm actually here to raise awareness and also to find a resolution, a long-term resolution, even short-term as well, because we have our Ramadan coming up, and we do need our water daily and especially in Ramadan. So it's something that needs to be attended to immediately and urgently. So I'm here to ask for help from the residents, from the community to raise awareness. What can we do as a community to overcome this?
Yes, and what level of support would you require from people that matter to take the issue up with the authorities, to people like the mayor, to the Joburg City Council, so that they can appreciate the urgency of the situation.
Well, I would need 100% participation in this. I mean, it affects them as well. So I would need them to be 100% committed in finding a solution, whether it be in protesting or, of course, we'd like a peaceful solution to it, whether it be in more meetings that could be held, or if it's even to get a fundraiser or donations or sponsorships, that would be greatly appreciated. So 100% engagement and involvement, yes.
Yes, have you reached out to some of the organizations that have, in the past resolved certain issues with regard to water problems? Like I know Gift of the Givers, for instance, has been,
Mm.
pretty much in the forefront of addressing a lot of these problems in many parts around the country. Have you thought of that, Yasmin?
I think that's a good avenue, a good channel to think about. And inshallah, if I can get enough support, possibly we can sign a petition, go to the relevant private organizations, and it's a good way to think about it.
Well, definitely, and we would recommend that as well. And if
Mm.
anyone from Gift of the Givers is obviously listening to us right now, and
Mhm,
perhaps they should get in touch with the residents in Fordsburg, because,
mhm,
like you mentioned, Yasmin, the month of Ramadan is coming up. It's a critical time of the year. It's a crucial time of the year, and you want to have a relatively peaceful Ramadan without having to worry about these things, because they are far more important things we need to do in the month of Ramadan. So we trust and hope that, inshallah, Allah make it easy. And the sooner
mhm,
this problem is resolved, the better it is. But also at the same time, we also want to appeal to the nearby communities. You mentioned places like Mayfair, and I'm sure that there is a fair amount of support already coming through
mhm,
from people who've got family, friends, and also other community
mhm,
members, just to come forward to assist and do what they can for the residents of Fortsburg, inshallah.
mhm. Ameen, Ameen. Jazakallah.
And Jazakallah to you for coming on and unpacking and highlighting what you have with us this morning. Yasmin, we wish you well, inshallah. Allah make it easy. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
آمين. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Yasmin Garda, resident of Fordsburg, can you imagine being without water for 8 weeks? And this is the appeal that is going out as, if there are any organizations that have expertise as far as addressing the water problem that Fordsburg is faced with. And if you could come forward, if you could contact the people of Fordsburg, inshallah, to try and ease the difficulties that they are experiencing. Next up is going to be Just 20 by Sheikh Tawfiq Ibn Sayyid. So, from myself and the team, once again, it's been an absolute pleasure standing in for Julie Ali this morning. From myself and the team, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.